Hello and welcome to another episode of Outsuit. Today we're going to turn our attention to the small and mid-sized businesses that also toil in our economy. And with me is my good friend Jeff Moloughney, who has spent a long time in various vendors. You started at Front Range, right?
I actually started at Oracle. So I
Oh,
started at Oracle right after university, cut my teeth in software at Oracle for about 9, 10 years, and then went over to Front Range, the mid-market service management, asset management vendor for about 6, 7 years.
and now you with BMC?
Now I am with BMC. Yeah, I help look after the what we term mid-market IT service management products, Remedy Force, Footprint, Service Core, Asset Core.
And so through the years you spent in our market, what have you seen is the big difference in help desk and ITSM needs? What's the difference between what small businesses needs and what the large enterprises needs? Are SMBs different?
The needs of the business aren't different. It's the tools and what the individuals at the SMB need out of those tools is different. So, for example, one individual at an SMB wears multiple hats:
Hmm.
service desk, into operations, into understanding assets. You could even talk about going out and deployment and patching, etc. Whereas in an enterprise, that's 2, 3, 4, 5 different people, right? Just because they have the amount of resources. The needs aren't necessarily different. The tools aren't necessarily different. You could even argue the maturity isn't different. It's just their ability to manage multiple things, wear multiple hats, is what's different between an SMB and an enterprise.
Because lately there's been a real, I don't know, a renaissance almost about among SMB ITSM vendors. If you look what's out there right now, there's a lot of focus on that sector.
Yeah.
Um, if you look at HP and CA and BMC and IBM and those big guys, they're not necessarily they dip their toes in it. But right now, what type of vendors are out there? What tools are out there for someone who doesn't want to install a mammoth million
Yeah.
dollar installation?
A massive, yeah. It's interesting. It's if you look at what the cloud has done for an application provider, a solutions provider, it gives small organizations, and we're looking at 5 to 10 people, right? Mostly developers and a good architect and sort of somebody to tie it all together, an easy inroad in developing an application. This just isn't service management, right? If you look at like the CRM market, for example, there's probably 80 different cloud CRM applications. And they all have great features and functionality. And we're seeing that similar approach in the service management market, right? You have smaller organizations having the ability to create good feature and functionality set, but have it deployed in a cloud model, right? So it's very easy to consume. It's almost like you could take enterprise, mid-market, and now the focus is on the SMB and just the quick and easy ability to deliver a nice, well-tuned help desk slash service desk slash ITSM application for anybody to consume. And you see some free vendors out there that are giving the ability for people to take something like ticket management and problem management and adopt it in an organization of 25 people rather quickly.
So the cloud was really a catalyst in democratizing
The
ITSM.
cloud, exactly. And because it doesn't require a corporation to acquire anything, right? There's no cost to it. There's no operational cost to it. You can simply put it on a credit card for a lot of these vendors, but a lot of these vendors get people by just having, hey, use it for 1, 2, 3 people for free. And then when you grow from there, or when you want to add on more features and functionality, the change and release type functionality, that's when sort of the payment model comes into play. So the cloud is clearly the driver, and we're just seeing this in service management. I have a lot of background in the CRM side. I started building CRM products at Oracle and Siebel and PeopleSoft. And when Salesforce came in the late 90s and 2000, that market in the CRM side really took off, of taking CRM applications and all the functionality that a Siebel would build or an Oracle would build or an SAP would build it, but put it in a cloud environment, whether it's similar to Salesforce or a completely different cloud environment out there provided by another vendor.
What about these new tools like social and mobile and collaboration? Is
Yeah.
that still some? Is that yet something that has taken root in the SMB market?
That is the sole focus of SMB. We had an interesting conversation with Salesforce this week. with the company, and they previously focused on mobile, but now there's a huge focus on mobile, right? If we're building an application, it's not built for these laptops and these desktops. We're building them with the sole focus of mobile these days. Why is that? Because the
Yeah.
mobile devices are going to outpace, if not already, PCs and laptops and all the other sort of hardware that we're used to.
Now it's interesting because it's easy to forget that those type of tools almost have a bigger impact on the SMB players. I mean, if you look at what to be expected in large corporations going forward, these are big words, but to implement a social platform, let's say at Oracle, it's quite cumbersome and it's a big cultural change. But to do it with 50 guys, you can get results quite quickly, right?
Yeah, you can definitely get results rather quickly. And why are we seeing this sort of mobile and social is because that is what the businesses, that's what the users are expecting, right? I want the ability to interact with the service desk through a social environment, chatter, be able to look at Facebook, tweet, be able to chat, versus sort of the old antiquated, web portal way, right? Which was just 10 fields on a web page. It wasn't interactive. You just submitted something in, and who knows who picked it up, right? It was like sending an email in, or sometimes putting a voicemail up. So that social focus that we see in the business and consumer markets, right, is now having to be interactive with the service desk, and the same thing with mobile. I have my mobile device. I want to be able to see everything IT related on my mobile device. Why do I need to go back into this cumbersome application on my desktop, on my laptop? I should be having things fed to me on my mobile and be able to interact and request services and issues from my mobile device as well.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one who was impatient. Taking the time to open your Outlook, it takes way too long. I always pick up my phone and look if someone emailed me if it's already running.
Yeah, exactly. If your phone is going to bing or your iPad is going to bing, you're going to pick that up versus, oh, great, I got this email. I'm not even going to look at it until later in the day.
So where's the gap now, do you think? And what does it keep you awake at night? The gap between what vendor offers and what the SMBs want. What's the next thing we have to rush towards to meet demands?
I think the biggest thing, it's that user interaction. It's that business user interaction. The business users are requesting the services and they have the issues. The interaction in the past is antiquated, and it's not what they're used to in that consumerization market, right? In the consumerization market, I can go find an app, I can download an app, I can procure it, I can license it, I can troubleshoot it. It's probably the most important portion. When I have questions, I'm not calling up a help desk. I can do that either from the device or the magic Google world, right? And then I can eventually retire it. And I can upgrade it and do all these things with 2-3 clicks of a button. That is what the users, our businesses, our customers are expecting. So the SMB market, I think, is probably quicker to adapt and implement that type of solution, if you will, for the business. Right? That's probably, and that's what's better with SMB versus the sort of enterprise monolithic type solutions. Not ITSM, right? That's just enterprise in general. Their ability to react and innovate is a lot less than an SMB type market.
Yeah, do you think that if you're looking at how the consumer session going forward and how everybody's talking about it, everybody embracing it. I still haven't really felt that things are more consumerized in my world. How long do you think it'll take before we actually have real Amazon-like products in the enterprise? Is that available today, or is this just hype?
We have a little bit of it is hype, right? Depending upon what you have. In the consumer market, clearly is there. If you're asking the question about a business application, we are just getting there. I think we're just starting to understand that we need to build an infrastructure for people like ourselves, right, and the other application vendors out there. But what is evolving is how the business is adapting to that infrastructure. And that is what's going to change, right? Look at social. That has changed drastically over the last 5 years. Look at mobile. That has changed drastically over the last 10 years. So I think from a business application pushing and accepting of the market, That is what's going to change, and that's going to take 3 years to figure itself out. I think we have the infrastructures and we know what to do with the infrastructures, but how to interact with the business users and how that's affecting a service desk, for example, that's going to take 2 years to figure out, if not more.
Sounds interesting. Sounds interesting. Well, I really appreciate your time, Jeff. Hopefully we'll hear more from you as things evolve. And next time we might even bring in a customer. You two can fight it out here in the zoo.
All right. Thanks, Elf. Take care.
And to the rest of you, stay safe. Bye-bye.